Hello, so we're going to talk about some of the rights, some of our constitutional rights that can be violated. Remember, we're learning about John Locke's ideas and how they pertain to the Revolutionary War and how they came up with the Declaration of Independence. And then we later on got our Bill of Rights and everything like that. So we're going to talk about some of the rights that we have. So recently, since this coronavirus has been a thing, we found an article from Rolling Stone that was written on March 21st, called "The DOJ Wants to Suspend Certain Constitutional Rights During Corona Emergency." And so I just went and kind of rewordified this article so that you'll be able to understand it. So this is the Attorney General William Barr. He participates in a news conference with Justice Department officials. Okay, so it says the DOJ wants to suspend certain rights that agree with the Constitution during the coronavirus emergency. The Department of Justice has secretly asked Congress for the ability to hold arrested people for a long time, maybe forever, in addition to other powers that one expert called very scary. If you did the assignment before this, you kind of did a comparison between Locke's ideas of life, liberty, and property, and how the government has to protect our rights. And if the government doesn't protect our rights, then we have the right to get a new one. And so we also looked at the Bill of Rights and how you have a right to a trial, and you can't have excessive bails, and you can't be held excessively for, that's a violation of your constitutional right. The Trump Department of Justice has asked Congress to create laws allowing chief justices or chief judges to hold people for a long time, maybe even forever, without trial, and suspend other protected rights that agree with the Constitution during the coronavirus and other emergencies, according to a report by Politico writer named Betsy Woodruff Swan. While the request from the Department of Justice will likely come to nothing because of a Democratic-controlled House of Representatives, they show how much this White House actually pays no attention to the rights listed in the Constitution. And I'm not sure if they actually don't pay attention to the rights that are listed in the Constitution, but this definitely is a violation of our constitutional rights. And this is why we vote. This is why we do what we do. We live in this country. We're supposed to be free. We're supposed to be able to live our life. We're supposed to not be afraid of getting caught by the police and just thrown into the jail without being ever let out. The DOJ, which is Department of Justice, has requested that Congress allows any Chief Justice of a district court to pause the series of events in the court whenever the district court is fully or partially closed because of any natural disaster. People breaking the laws they feel are not fair. That's called civil disobedience or other emergency situation. So this is the coronavirus. We are in quarantine right now. Nobody's allowed to really go out and hang out with other people because you might catch the virus. So Congress allows any chief judge of the district court to pause proceedings. And if you pause proceedings, that means that people are not getting their due process rights. That means that you're not going to court. You're not, if they catch you and put you in a jail, you're not getting your day in court. Let's see. So this would be related to any laws or rules of procedure otherwise impact pre-arrest, after arrest, pre-trial, trial, and after trial procedures in criminal and juvenile trials, and all civil processes and trials. So yeah, that's anything. Anytime you gotta do anything with the court, they can hold you. They could just push it off until they feel like they want to try it. And they're not excluding children. So this is juvenile trials too. So kids can be put in jail without being let out. And that's not right. They give a good reason for this by saying now judges can pause court trials in an emergency, but that new laws would allow them to use it all the time. Hopefully, if they, I mean, like it said before, they're not going to do this because the House of Representatives is controlled by the Democrats. But apparently, it sounds like they're saying that this is the Republicans' idea, which I don't think so. Or they're saying that the DOJ is full of Republicans. So that's what they're saying. This is, it sounds like that's what they're implying. But it's not going to happen because, I mean, really, to be honest, what can we do if something like this happens? If they violate our constitutional rights, what can we do? There's something that we can do, and we learned about it in John Locke's ideas. But the Constitution grants citizens the right to be innocent until proven guilty, which gives people who are arrested the right to appear in front of a judge and ask to be released before trial. If the DOJ does what they want, then this would basically suspend the rights to be innocent until proven guilty for a long time, maybe even forever. I mean, they would just put you in jail, and basically when you go to jail because you're guilty until the emergency has ended. So further, the DOJ asked Congress to get rid of the time frame for a court to investigate and charge someone with the crime. So that means that they call it a statute of limitations. And so, like, if you do a crime, you have so long for them to investigate this crime and then try you for it and then put you in jail. After a certain period of time, they can't try you for it and they can't put you in jail. So they want to just cut that out. It also gets rid of the time frame for a court to conduct civil trials during an emergency for up to a year after it ended. So you could be put into jail. If you're innocent, you could just be put in the jail for a good year before anybody tries you, before you see your day in court. So Norman L. Reimer, Executive Director of the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, told Politico that the measure was very scary. He said not only would it be violating people's right to have a trial, but it also has an effect on people's pre-arrest. So that means that you could be arrested and never brought before a judge until they decide that the emergency is over. I find it completely and totally scary, especially in a time of emergency. We should be very careful about granting new powers to the government. Now, that is something that should not happen in a democracy. It shouldn't happen in a democracy because the people are the people who are supposed to tell the government what we want, and they're supposed to abide by what we say. The DOJ also asked Congress to update the federal rules of criminal procedure to have defendants show up at a court hearing via video conference instead of in person. But it's not just Americans' rights the DOJ wants to violate. They also asked Congress to pass a law saying that people who immigrate to the United States and test positive for COVID-19 cannot qualify as refugees. So anybody coming in from another country, they can't have their day in court either. Or if you come from another country and you have the virus, you can't have your day in court. So as corona spreads through the country, protesters are calling on politicians in office to release prisoners and immigrants who are held in detention centers because they can't catch the disease. Some states have already begun to do so, but with this, the Trump administration is taking steps to hold more people in prisons for an undetermined amount of time, showing their priority is not saving lives, but giving themselves more power. So this right here, where it says showing their priority is not saving lives, but giving themselves more power, which constitutional rights are they violating? I mean, we have life, liberty, property. We also have the government. The government has to protect us and our rights, which mean the right to life, liberty, and property. So is that a violation or no? That is all I have for you today. I want you to think about these things.